I remember finding out about how bad everything was. It's still hard for me to think about. I'm sorry.
Woody Allen. The once widely admired director Woody Allen's career has a dark shadow cast upon it due to the allegations of sexual misconduct within the home made by his former partner, Mia Farrow.
Woody gave her everything she could possibly want.
I was over the moon happy, but that's the great regret of my life. I wish I'd never met him.
He has consistently denied the claims and in response attempted to gain sole custody of his children, but his case was denied and was instead granted supervised visitation. Dylan, his adoptive daughter, continues to voice her story publicly. While the details of what took place can never be fully known, Allen's controversies have opened up larger cultural conversations about relational power imbalances and grooming.
You brought charges against me as an unfit mother.
And I'm going to make them stick.
Vince Neil.
What does this mysterious person benefit from my sexual humiliation?
I don't know, man, but you're definitely gonna die.
The early 80s saw Vince Neil rise to stardom as the frontman of the heavy metal band Motley Crue. In 1984, Neil was driving with Nicholas Razzle Dingley, the drummer of the Finnish band Hanoi Rocks, when he crashed into an oncoming vehicle. The accident claimed the life of Dingley and left the two passengers in the other car, Lisa Hogan and Daniel Smithers, with brain damage. Hogan is said to have remained in a coma for nearly 1 month as a result of the crash. Neil pleaded guilty to vehicular manslaughter and drunk driving and spent 15 days in jail. He was made to pay a $2.6 million settlement to the victims of the accident.
He was sentenced to 30 days in jail, but only served 19 on the condition that he stay sober.
Val Chmerkovskiy. Val Chmerkovskiy from Dancing with the Stars was the subject of a defamation lawsuit in 2016 that sought a payment of $6 million. The suit was filed by a girl living with Down syndrome who appeared in a meme that the dancer posted on his Facebook page.
Val is known for tough love with his dance partners, but in this case he's being sued for defamation and emotional injury for a post he later deleted, reminding us all that a quick meme can have lasting impact.
The picture included a caption that was seemingly intended to body shame the young girl and blame her parents for her weight.
I don't want people looking at her like that.
Although he eventually deleted the picture from his page, Chmerkovskiy refused to apologize for posting it and instead doubled down on his stance. In her suit, which also included CBS News as a defendant, the unnamed girl claimed that the meme had caused her severe emotional distress.
He never meant to offend anyone. He was trying to start a conversation about what's healthy and what's not.
Remy Ma.
Hard to the easy, into the whiz eye. My arms stay breezy, the dawn stay fizz. I got a date at 8, I'm in the 740 fizz and I just bought a bike so I can ride till I die.
In July 2007, Grammy-nominated rapper Remy Ma was involved in an altercation with her childhood friend, Makita Barnes-Joseph, that ended with Barnes-Joseph getting shot. Apparently, the dispute was over about $2,000, which Ma accused her friend of stealing from her.
If Peter Piper pecked them, I bet you Remy ducked them.
The rapper was arrested on multiple charges, including attempted murder and assault, but she vehemently denied pulling the trigger. Barnes-Joseph, on the other hand, denied stealing from Ma and had to spend 3 weeks in the hospital receiving treatment. She later filed a $10 million civil suit, claiming that the incident had inflicted physical harm and mental anguish on her. In the end, Ma was found guilty of assault, weapons possession, and attempted coercion, and received an 8-year sentence.
We walk around the metal detectors, and it really ain't a need for a VIP section.
Ashley Greene.
I'm Alice.
Hi. Best known for her turn as Alice Cullen in the Twilight franchise, Ashley Greene made headlines in 2013 when her West Hollywood apartment was gutted by flames. The incident was apparently an accident caused by a candle that lit a couch on fire, but according to Greene's building manager, Adrian Mayorga, he found certain drug paraphernalia on the scene that he seemed to believe might have caused the incident. Mayorga, along with other residents in the building, filed a lawsuit against Greene, claiming he suffered permanent respiratory damage as a result of the fire. In 2016, a settlement was reached between both parties for an undisclosed amount.
That's your future. Unless you decide on another course.
Ellen DeGeneres. For years, Ellen DeGeneres won the hearts of millions around the world with her lovable personality and mantra of always being kind to everyone. But turns out it was an entirely different story behind the scenes.
Some 47 past and current employees have complained to BuzzFeed News, allegations ranging from a toxic work environment.
A few months after a Twitter thread about her being mean went viral, multiple former employees of DeGeneres' show came forward with allegations of a toxic workplace. They claimed that she created a culture of racism, fear, and intimidation, and in some cases would fire people for flimsy reasons, leaving them without a source of income.
Phony, liar, hypocrite. That's my reaction. She's known about this for 17 years. She's created this culture. I was there from day one. We were all petrified of her. She was not nice.
Following an internal investigation, 3 executive producers were fired, and the show ultimately came to an end in 2022.
She apologized and promised to do better.
Jake Paul. Seems it's not only Justin Bieber who's made his neighbors' lives a living hell. In 2017, YouTuber and professional boxer Jake Paul was accused by his neighbors of constituting a nuisance in their West Hollywood community.
We've done a lot of dumb things. It's the dumbest thing we've ever done.
According to reports, Paul organized parties and orchestrated elaborate stunts that turned their peaceful neighborhood into a war zone.
Residents in the upscale neighborhood call it a living hell.
He also apparently made his address public, drawing hordes of fans to his house. As a result of this, Paul's neighbors filed a class action public nuisance lawsuit against him. The YouTuber seemingly moved to another property, but his behavior never changed. In 2020, amid the COVID-19 pandemic, he threw a large party that violated nearly all public safety rules, resulting in complaints from nearby residents.
The party, held at YouTube star Jake Paul's mansion in Calabasas, lasted all day and into the night.
Lance Armstrong. Between 2002 and 2004, Mike Anderson worked as the personal assistant and bike mechanic for disgraced cyclist Lance Armstrong.
Lance Armstrong turning into a virtual outcast in just a matter of days.
According to Anderson, they had known each other since their adolescence and got much closer in those 2 years, to the extent that Armstrong's wife referred to him as husband too. However, the relationship turned sour in 2004 when Anderson stumbled upon the steroid androstenedione in Armstrong's bathroom. Armstrong subsequently terminated his employment, and Anderson went public with the discovery soon after.
People ask me a lot, how you doing? And I tell them, I say, well, I've been better, but I've also been worse.
The former cyclist dragged him to court and soured his name in the media. With no prospects left in the US, Anderson had to start life over in New Zealand, where he now resides with his family.
I don't want to make excuses for myself that everybody did it or we never could have won without it. Those are all true, but the buck stops with me. I'm the one who made the decision to do what I did. And
Russell Brand. Many women have come forward over the years accusing comedian Russell Brand of misconduct and inappropriate behavior. Behind what may have appeared to be a charming and humorous exterior, Brand had allegedly been physically and emotionally abusive both within the workplace and in his personal relationships. As of June 2025, he has been charged for his crimes, but has pleaded not guilty. His trial is set to begin in June of 2026. Hopefully the truth will come to light, and those affected can be brought the peace of justice served. Justin Bieber. You'd think it'll be nice living next door to a globally recognized pop star.
What you got? A billion could've never bought.
But according to Jeffrey and Suzanne Schwartz, the former neighbors of Justin Bieber, it is anything but. The couple first made the news in early 2014 when Bieber was investigated for throwing eggs at their house. He later pleaded no contest and was made to pay about $80,000 in restitution to his neighbors.
The damage went beyond kids' play.
In 2015, Jeffrey and Suzanne Schwartz filed a lawsuit for damages against the artist, citing the egging incident as well as repeated cases of harassment from Bieber, his entourage, and his fans.
He was also sentenced to 5 days of community labor, 2 years probation, a 12-week anger management program, and must also pay $350 in fees and fines.
The case was finally settled out of court in 2018.
Yeah, I know that I let you down. It's too late to say I'm sorry now.
On Combs.
So who do you like? Blondie.
Christina Aguilera.
Who? No, come on. What? You, shortstop.
Puff Daddy.
Wrong.
Sean Love Combs, born Sean John Combs, is a man who has put several spins on his name over the years. But whether the record producer and rapper chooses to call himself Diddy, Puff Daddy, or P. Diddy, there's dirt on all of these names following a series of controversies.
I'm not sure if you want to answer this, but what are your thoughts on everything going on with Diddy right now?
Combs' former partner, Cassie, filed a lawsuit against the disgraced hip-hop mogul in November 2023, alleging that he physically and sexually assaulted her on multiple occasions. After quickly settling out of court, Diddy likely crossed his fingers and hoped that that was the end. But this lawsuit was simply the first domino to fall before a string of further sexual misconduct accusations were made against him, including an alleged incident involving a minor.
With graphic video now backing up their claims, many of them hope Sean Combs will soon be trading his obscene lifestyle for a jail cell.
Matthew Broderick.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
During a 1987 vacation in Ireland with then-girlfriend and Dirty Dancing star Jennifer Grey, the two celebs were involved in a car accident. Details on the incident remain cloudy, but it has been alleged Broderick was in the incorrect lane of the wet, slippery road when his rented BMW hit an oncoming vehicle.
Broderick, you have excellent taste in automobiles.
The crash resulted in the occupants of that vehicle, Margaret Doherty and her daughter Anna Gallagher, losing their lives. Broderick and Grey were lucky to escape with theirs. Grey sustained whiplash and other non-life-threatening injuries, and Broderick suffered a concussion, broken ribs, broken leg, and a collapsed lung. Broderick escaped with a minor charge of careless driving and a tiny fine, probably because of his celebrity status.
Wow, this is just like what happened with Matthew Broderick, except no one's dead.
Danny Masterson.
For the victims of Danny Masterson, today was a day of reckoning. The former actor and now convicted felon brought to justice.
Danny Masterson is famous for working with Ashton Kutcher on projects like That 70s Show. However, the actor's resurgence in popularity due to acting with Kutcher on their Netflix series, The Ranch, was short-lived. This is due to being at the end of a trio of sexual assault allegations for incidents alleged to have taken place in 2001 and 2003.
Well, these are allegations that go back to 2002. Danny Masterson has always maintained his innocence.
Following an investigation by the LAPD, criminal charges were brought against the actor in 2020. After pleading not guilty, Masterson went through 2 trials over the crimes, the first of which resulted in a hung jury. The second trial, however, saw him convicted for 2 of his 3 cases, resulting in a sentence of 30 years to life in prison.
Masterson's 2 victims, who have not been publicly identified, termed Jane Doe 1 and 2, saw their attacker in court sentenced to 30 years to life.
Roman Polanski.
Plaintiff, though groggy, alleges that she told defendant, quote, no, end quote.
The film industry accolades that French-Polish director Roman Polanski has received are shocking, considering what he's been accused of. In 1977, Polanski was charged with inappropriate sexual contact with a minor, after which he accepted a plea deal and penalty by probation. Once the director realized he might still be imprisoned, he fled to his home country, France.
It took me a really long time to decide to file this suit against Mr. Polanski, but I finally did make that decision.
Despite attempts that have been made to extradite Polanski, he remains free. He even won a Best Director Oscar in 2003, and we're still seriously side-eyeing all those who gave him a standing ovation at the time.
Let's put things into context. It's Roman Polanski who doesn't respect the rule of law. He's always refused to face justice.
Stephen Collins.
I was taken aback. That was strange. I'm like, wow, who does that?
On Seventh Heaven, Stephen Collins endeared himself to viewers as loving father and helpful pastor Eric Camden. In hindsight, everything about the actor's wholesome image felt manipulative when appalling audio was released in 2014, where Collins confessed to acting inappropriately with minors.
That famous TV dad, actor Stephen Collins, coming forward for the first time. Why now?
One tweet sums up the scandal. Reverend Camden, how could you?
The recording came from a marriage counseling session 2 years earlier. The statute of limitations means that Collins saw no proper justice for his crimes, despite publicly acknowledging that they occurred between 1973 and 1994. If there's any silver lining, after decades of success, the reaction to these recordings meant his career was very much over.
The first incident was in 1973. You were 25 years old. How old was the victim?
Nick Hogan.
When you found out just how bad he was, what were you thinking?
It didn't even seem real.
In recent years, wrestler Hulk Hogan has been involved in controversy, including multiple lawsuits and racist rants caught on camera. It may be a case of like father like son when it comes to character, as Hogan's son, Nick, was driving under the influence in 2007 when an accident took place that almost claimed his passenger's life.
Bollea was arrested for reckless driving for the wreck.
While the passenger, a friend named John Graziano, survived, he still wasn't lucky, sustaining severe brain injuries resulting in him needing full-time care for the remainder of his days. For his carelessness, Hogan was sentenced to only 8 months of jail time, and this would not be the last time he was caught driving drunk.
This weekend's arrest comes 16 years after he was arrested for reckless driving following a horrific accident that left his friend paralyzed. And Winnie, that was a big story when it happened.
Kanye West.
Of course, Kanye has made it no secret that he wants Kim back.
It's hard to believe that Kim Kardashian and Kanye West once seemed like one of show business's strongest power couples. However, very little in Ye's life seems to last forever. His ego, on the other hand, that never seems to fade. Following Kim and Ye's separation, the Kardashian moved on a few months later, starting a new relationship with SNL cast member Pete Davidson.
And here's what it looked like. So like, I'm like on the left, I'm like, oh God. And then I'm like, I want a career, so I leave.
Kanye did not approve of the couple, to say the least. The rapper and fashion designer even went as far as to release a video for his and the game's single Easy that depicted an animated Davidson getting buried alive. The comedian reportedly had to attend trauma therapy in response to West's online abuse.
I'm just extremely happy. Can you tell by my face?
Bill Cosby.
There has been a verdict. The comedian, now 80, has been found guilty on all counts.
A staggeringly high number of women, over 60, have accused comedian and actor Bill Cosby of sexual assault, with reports of incidents that date back 50 years. The open secret of Cosby's behavior had faded into the background until a comedy routine from Eric Andre's sidekick, Hannibal Buress, resurfaced the allegations in October 2014.
What was the game changer here was the other women allowed to testify.
The next year saw Cosby charged with 3 counts of indecent assault stemming from events that occurred in 2004 at Cosby's home. He was found guilty in 2018 and sentenced to 3 to 10 years of imprisonment. However, this was overturned in 2021 due to a legal technicality. To the dismay of many, Cosby is a free man.
Bill Cosby walked free today after the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania overturned his assault conviction, leaving his accusers stunned.
Harvey Weinstein.
The new headline tonight involving one of the most powerful figures in Hollywood. Several allegations of sexual harassment against movie producer Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein was once one of the most powerful and influential producers in Hollywood. As anybody familiar with the revelations that ignited the global Me Too movement know, he significantly abused this position. Weinstein used promises of advancing the careers of several women he worked with to sexually assault and harass them.
A nightmare. Literally a nightmare. And you will never be the same.
Another cause of an open secret in Hollywood, the show business whispers became much louder in 2017 when an expose on the producer was published by the New York Times and the New Yorker. The report contained accounts from many women accusing him of sexual misconduct. In 2020, many were relieved as Weinstein was convicted of sexual assault and sentenced to 23 years of imprisonment.
They should have a right to speak their piece and to say how they have been harmed by the defendant in a case.
R. Kelly.
But we do begin tonight with singer R. Kelly, sentenced to 30 years behind bars after his conviction on racketeering and sex trafficking charges.
Despite incidents in the accusations against the once R&B superstar dating back to the early 90s, R. Kelly avoided punishment for his crimes for years, simply being labeled a playboy. This all changed with the release of a documentary series in 2019.
In their impact statements, described the abuse they endured, calling Kelly, quote, abusive and dominating.
That Lifetime series, Surviving R. Kelly, detailed allegations of sexual misconduct against the singer from several women. The artist was arrested on multiple charges and in 2022 sentenced to 30 years in prison after being found guilty of 9 counts of sex trafficking and racketeering. A later trial also found him guilty of 6 additional charges. It's estimated Kelly should be in jail at least through 2045.
This is a significant outcome for all victims of R. Kelly, and especially for the survivors who so bravely testified about the horrific and sadistic abuse they endured.
Did we forget to mention another selfish celeb? Sound off in the comments.
Do you remember the look on these girls' faces?